All right. It is my pleasure to introduce the host for this session, Dr. Rey-Sheng Herr-Herr-Sheng, Deputy CEO of Tzu Chi Charity Foundation, who is also a scholar whose research explores altruism, economic ethics, and social philosophy. Dr. Herr, I will let you introduce our panelists and lead the conversation.
Okay, let's welcome UC Berkeley Professor Chris Bush come to the stage as a discussant. And also the CEO颜博文from Tzu Chi Foundation is a joint discussant, and Frederick Tsao Chairman, our keynote speaker. Yeah. So Frederick, yeah, please, yeah. So thank you everyone, and thank you for these three keynote speakers. We've been enjoying all the lecture and talking from the Chairman Peter Lee talk about the AI crisis and the way he engaged in the investment of green energy, which is to preserve the environment, nature, and also to saving life. We've been heard about the Bernard Chen about how the technology will solve the imminent issue that we all face, especially like us, over 65, but Frederick never use it. He doesn't belong to that. Never retire. Yeah, that's also from our Dharma Master Zheng Yan. Never retire. Yeah, and also, we heard from the Chairman Tsao about his very optimistic on the future, on the human recent situation. Especially, we have abundant of civilization legacy from Tao, from Confucian, and also from Buddhism, and also from Western civilization as well. And he pursued the commonwealth and the common good for the human being. So now we welcome to discussion from UC Berkeley Professor Chris Bush. He is the director for the Institute for Corporate Innovation, and also co-organizer of BIF. BIF also advocate the open innovation from Silicon Valley, from all over the world. And Po-Wen Yan is from technology background, and now is a CEO for Tzu Chi Foundation. So I wanted to go to Chris first. So can you have your feedback after you heard these three keynote speech? You can raise your question and also your comment first.
Sure. Well, thank you very much. And I also want to share my thanks with the organizers for having me here today. It's a big honor to be representing UC Berkeley at this event. I found the three talks that we heard earlier to be very interesting and very relevant to some of the work that we do at UC Berkeley around innovation, entrepreneurship, and really the commercialization, which by that I mean the process of getting technology out into the marketplace where it can be used by people and hopefully do good, to the theme of this conference. Just some brief reactions. First, I found the talk about the aging population issues that we heard to be really relevant, especially because we are seeing some very interesting technology applications in unexpected ways in the business world. So for a quick example, I was speaking with one of the large energy provider companies in Japan, and they are now using their data to work with the government to basically help identify elderly people who are starting to have health or memory problems. And you might say, how is that happening? Well, one way it's happening is that they can see that if energy usage really increases or decreases, that might be an indication that there's something wrong. Maybe people are forgetting to turn off their lights or appliances, so that's why the energy is going up. Maybe they are forgetting to turn on their lights because they're having a health problem and can't get out of bed. So for these companies to be able to use their data, to be able to use analytics and AI to look for solutions to some of these problems, I really see that as a big potential for companies to do some good in the world there. The question of AI displacing jobs, I was also very interested to hear that perspective. I am maybe not quite as pessimistic as our earlier speaker. I do think there is still going to be, at least for a while, a lot of human beings involved in the workplace. I don't think it's all going to go away. I think AI will also create some jobs, but it is going to create a lot of change and probably chaos in certain industries, and we are going to have to adapt to that. So again, I am very interested to hear from the other panelists and from the other talks today some potential solutions around that. And finally, it was really fascinating to hear the application of the Chinese philosophy, the Chinese religion, especially from a family business. I actually teach a course at UC Berkeley on family businesses, and so being able to hear how a family business is applying these philosophies and ideas to doing good in the world, to using technology for good, was really inspirational to me. So I will wrap up my initial comments there so our other speakers can talk.
Okay, thank you, Chris. And next I move to CEO Yan. You come from the semiconductor background. You've been dealing with the technology for all your career. And also you engage in compassion, Tzu Chi Foundation, for more than 10 years from the volunteer, now the CEO of Tzu Chi Foundation. So what do you feel about the technology for good? What do your feedback for these three wonderful keynote speakers share their view, and please give your comment and your feedback.
Okay, thank you. First of all, I'd like to thank Mr. Tsao, Chairman Tsao, for a great talk and very inspirational. And I've been in the semiconductor industry. Actually, I do the chips for NVIDIA before. And when I was an engineer, actually, I'm from my engineering background. I'm a little bit Mr. Lee.
Hayashi. Mr. Hayashi, Professor
Yeah,
Hayashi.
and I'm kind of pessimistic. But however, when I enter into the charity philanthropy industry, I will become optimistic.
Okay.
Because as Mr. Tao said, the 烦恼即菩提, when you see the trouble and you see the worrisome things, you need to be optimistic. Yeah, and so I would say it is very interesting topic nowadays, and I still remember one time, a few years ago, in Taipei, in Tzu Chi's Jinsi Hall, we invited Dr. Jeffrey Sachs. Yeah, he gave a talk, and he mentioned the topic is sustainability. And he said that sustainability ABC. I still remember that the A stands for Aristotle.
Yeah.
And B stands for Buddha.
Yeah.
And C stands for Confucius. So if you can merge these three great philosophers, then you find a solution, Because we are in I just wonder if this is a sustainable world. Yeah. So we talk about the sustainability, then probably ABC is the solution. However, I like to add one more thing is during that speech, the former, I would say in Taiwan, probably something like a prime minister, administration yuan, Dr. Liu Zhaoxuan. His talk is about Taoism, talk about the Wang Dao, And then later on, Jeffrey Sachs added D. D means Taoism. So sustainability ABC means that Aristotle, Buddha, Confucius and Taoism, then we'll become a very perfect for the solution, for the this chaotic world. Yeah, that's my points.
Well, thank you. We have an abundance of human wisdom that can tackle with the crisis of AI or the problem of technology might be developed. But yeah, we have A, B, C, D. We probably have an E, right? Economy goodness, okay, economy well-being. Yeah. So Chairman Tsao, why are you so optimistic? It's not only philosophy. You might see some phenomena. You might see some really good progress for the industry, for the economy, or for the society. What is that kind of observation or phenomena that brings you optimistic?
My own experience. Only experience is real. The rest is hope. Now, when you have hope, you will have disappointment. But you have an experience, just like Buddha say, see for yourself. Don't listen to me. So my experience in the journey to find and answer the question, who am I? I have realized there's no such thing as sustainability. It doesn't exist. If you look at nature, it always adjusts itself. It never. It's just rhythm, like energy. It goes in cycles. There is no such thing. Sustainability is a human fear response. And fear response is no good. It's very bad for creativity. We are pure love. The dust that covers this shining pearl is the dust of fear. We clean it, and this pearl shines, will be seen. So there is no fear. Our biggest enemy is fear. So don't put more fear into your own mind. Don't put fear in my own mind. Think about flourishing. Think about nature. Think about Tao, the D. Okay? Now, if your heart is full with the Buddha I, compassion, when there's love, there's light, there's no fear. So the journey of Bodhisattva is to be the light, is to eliminate all fear. It's the same thing. And as I move on my own journey to find out who I am, which is love, I found out, just follow. Everything is perfect. You either do something and you failed, you learn, or you succeed, you collect dividend. You never lose. Everything is perfectly designed for me. And you do more and more, things will flow your way. The law of attraction. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, for the Buddhist philosophy, you always believe that everything determined by our conscience. All the phenomenon and reality actually driven by our conscience. So our conscience is good, the reality will be toward good. But back to Chris, you've been working for Silicon Valley industry for many years. Another innovation, I'm honored to join your forum for many years. A lot of innovation, Amazon, Google, Facebook, NASA. So have you seen hope about the AI can be really controlled by the human good? Or what kind of element that we can prevent AI to really benefit the human being instead of eventually harm human being?
Yes, it is a really tough question. I think we are at a critical moment right now when it comes to at least Silicon Valley's development of AI. And I also think some of the competition that was mentioned earlier, including the competition between the US and China, has the potential to do more harm than good. So those are some of the areas that I'm really concerned about when it comes to AI and whether we have the potential to control it. That said, the reason why I say it's a critical moment is I don't think it's too late. We've still seen that some of the companies in Silicon Valley, like Anthropic, are putting together teams to really look at how do you make sure this technology doesn't develop in a dangerous way to humanity? How do you make sure that it is harnessed for good? Now, do we need more of that? Of course. Do we need governments likely to step in and put some regulation around it? Yes, probably. But at this point, at least, I haven't seen any evidence that it's too late for us to change course and basically unleash what, at the end of the day, has the potential of being an alien intelligence among us. And I don't mean to sound like fearful of technology. I love technology. I've lived in Silicon Valley and worked there for many years. But AI does have a different potential than most of the previous technology that we've seen. And it's going to require a much more strict response, I think, in the long run, if we're going to keep it from doing harm.
Well, thank you, Chris. Yes, I think now even the big conglomerate, they have AI for Good program, like Microsoft, Amazon, they all have AI for Good. And also in China, Alibaba and Tencent, they all have AI for Good program, and try to bring a belief and faith and also ethic into the technology. So my question goes to the CEO Yan. You are in technological side and also in the compassion philanthropy side right now. And Tzu Chi accommodate 100,000 entrepreneurs worldwide. And you are the leader for the global Tzu Chi operation. So why you feel that philanthropy perspective or your role that can really advocate the goodness to the technology and to the industry?
Actually, the Tzu Chi's leader is our founder, Dharma Master Cheng Yen. We follow Master's teachings. So Master always encourages us, we need to, using all the resources for the goodness, not for competition. So this is about two and a half months ago. There was more than 200 politicians and scientists. They launched an advocacy to set up a kind of the international agreement for the AI red lines. That is, I would say, that is very imperative to me at least. So because AI is actually, to me, AI is a tool. And how to use AI in the good usage for the goodness is very critical, very important. So AI should be used for, like Chairman Tsao say, is useful for improve the GHI, not GDP for specific country, is for GHI, Global Happiness Index, right? GNH. Or I probably can also interpret in international. Now, how to improve the happiness of the world, the people of the world. That is very important. As we can see, nowadays the world is becoming more serious about inequality. So how to use AI properly and set up the agreement or guideline, like something like the rule-based international order. That is very important to me.
Yeah, I think CEO Yan raised a very good question. We have a treaty for a nuclear proliferation, right? To really balance the nuclear development, nuclear weapon development. So how likely we can have a treaty, international treaty, for AI for good to eliminate the harmful part of AI and advocate his goodness. We know that AI will be very beneficial to everyone. Every industry needs AI right nowadays. Even we are aging, we also need AI companion. So it's how likely we can have this kind of consensus, or how likely that kind of treaty or agreement can really implement it in our modern world. Chairman Tsao, how you feel about this?
Well, when the timing is right, treaty appears. When the timing is wrong, people tear up the treaty. You see it again and again, right? So something should happen, and then, oh God, we got to clean this. Let's agree on this. And then a few years later, it doesn't suit me. Okay, let's renegotiate. So don't worry. It'll come and go as usual. We see in normal life. But again, maybe what I said could be counterintuitive, but I urge you to listen what I share, and maybe your experience would tell you what otherwise your cognitive programming are telling you. And watch the reality in the world as we experience, right? So let me share with you something grounded, because I always appear to be up there, people kind of lost. So how do we approach AI in TPC? How do AI for good? Of course, we do the usual thing that everybody do in management and stuff. But we have a specific management model for good. It's called the Good Management Model. It runs our Quantum Leadership 2.5 years program. It includes skills training, a journey of I to we, and 3 mindset change. So now, with that particular thing as a guidance, we're now developing an avatar AI energetic coach. I said, wow, energetic. I'll explain, because that will be kind of out of the mind if you haven't experienced this kind of quantum equipment and systems. So first of all, when you do an avatar, the person you're training it, you are actually, the avatar has your personality. Then the avatar is also running your AI staff, your agents that you work with in the company. Right? And then you have a coach, which is doing mirroring functions. And you're recording everything, including when you're talking, meeting, the camera, they look at your facial and your body movement, and record much more data about what's happening inside that otherwise a coach can do. Through that process, you have all data. Think you are sleeping. Now, every avatar company is working. In other words, while we're sleeping, our employees are working with this personality, and morning, ding, it comes. And at any time, this is the coach. So you want to think through something, you want to ask some questions. If you just listen, and maybe we can program the AI automatically will give you feedback. This will be a very powerful facilitating tool for mindfulness practice and awakening. Think about this powerful and harmonizing company work, because you are working with them, they're working at the morning time, there's no conflict because there's no projection, there's no emotion in your avatar. And then they tell you in your language, in your personality, how the discussion of solving the problem may be. Now, that's how we're developing. We're going to the second iteration. But this is how we're going to use AI to help us awakening and shift consciousness. Because in my company, we do research on shifting consciousness, program innovation, and corporate performance.
Yeah, I think at this forum, we luckily have a different religious practice background. We have a Catholic, we have a Buddhism, we have a different kind of belief system. So I think AI for good or technology for good, it must base on the civilization of goodness, which means without a moral conscience, if the business driven by greed, by interest, I think all the treaty will be teared down, as you're just saying. So that's what we emphasize on the goodness in economy, in technology, how to transform people's mind and people's intention could be based on good, not based on greed and desire. But for centuries, the technology emphasized on instrumental perspective, which means instrumental rationality, how it can be usefulness, instead of value rationality. What is the value for the technology? And what is the end of the technology, which Aristotle emphasized. The end, the purpose of technology is very important. So three rationality, instrumental rationality, value rationality, and end rationality, these three should combine together. But it's difficult because we are all human beings. We have flaw, we have a desire, we have a greed. It's very difficult to transform. So that's why Tzu Chi Foundation doing that, and the Catholic Church doing that. So if all the goodness can put together, one by one, case by case, like Frederick Tsao advocated the economy of well-being, which means economic goodness from my perspective. Try to invite more people to join this kind of movement of civilization of goodness. That's what we have today. And I think the three of you have been shared all your insight and comment. I would like to open to the floor for our guests to raise the question to three of our discussants. So anyone want to raise that, or maybe I want to identify my friend first. Brian, do you want to say something? Brian is wonderful leaders in the business and faith. And he ran a very big association in the United States, and also as a social fellow at the Georgetown. Do you want to say something for that? The next bit. And Peter? Same thing. Okay. Anyone want to raise a question for our, okay, please, Cliff. Yeah. Cliff is a member of the Society for Economic Goodness. Yeah.
My name is Cliff, and it's been an amazing morning, and I think we all learned a great deal. And I'd like to make an observation and perhaps raise a question about AI. I think we've heard a lot about, AI is a tool and its main purpose and the end is really to augment human beings, to help human beings get a better, towards a better well-being and all that. Now, that would mean that all the 8 billion people on this earth would have to work together towards that goal in order to achieve that. But on the other hand, what we are seeing now is that the AI space, the AI industry is more of a race. There's a lot of competition towards, I'm going to do this fast, better and faster. I don't think they're working together per se. There's a lot more competition than collaboration. Now, the problem I see is that there's, because of perhaps cultural or geopolitical reasons, there's a lot of distrust among this species, human beings on Earth. When you have so much distrust among ourselves, how do we work together towards a very powerful tool that may be good or may be bad, as Chairman Peter Lee was alluding to, towards a better well-being goal? Now, so I would address this question to all of the speakers on the stage and see how do we reconcile this big level of distrust among human beings, among all the different peoples, and the goal for achieving or making AI a very, very useful tool to help human beings.
This question I go to Chris first because Chris does emphasize on open innovation, which advocate collaboration between industries, especially Silicon Valley and elsewhere. So do you want to reply? Your comment?
Sure, I'm happy to start, and thank you for raising these questions. So just a couple of thoughts. First of all, I am relatively old to be in the technology space. Many of the people who are actually doing the work, who are launching new startups around AI, who are teaching it, are really the younger generation. And in some ways, that gives me a lot of hope. I see in our students at UC Berkeley and with other students around the world that I work with, this commitment to working together across cultures, across boundaries, across religions, and really trying to make sure that the solutions that they come up with do have that positive benefit on society. So that's, I think, one thing that gives me hope. The second, to Dr. Her's point, as an institute where open innovation is a big part of our focus, open innovation doesn't solve everything. It's not always the solution for every problem. But I do think, in general, openness wins. When we try to always keep things closed or compete against each other instead of collaborating together, something is lost. And I think with the more that we can do to encourage both large companies and startups and academics and everyone else to work in that open way, to work collaboratively, I think the more society will benefit and the chances of these technologies doing harm gets reduced.
Okay, thank you, Chris. Cliff mentioned we live among the distrustful world, but the Tzu Chi Foundation actually is quite a trustful organization. And we have a partnership, especially CEO Ian been developing the external partnership in the last decade. Not only inside the Tzu Chi, but outside the Tzu Chi, we build a partnership, collaboration. Also inside the Tzu Chi, we are working together in every disaster relief work. 10 nations volunteer among 20 countries altogether. So CEO Ian, what you feel about what kind of hope we can bring to this world to some extent is quite distrustful. How our trust in our organization can really apply to a bigger society.
Okay, I would say I often mention about this BI is better than AI. BI stands for Buddha's intelligence. We can learn more from Buddha's intelligence because what we know about this universe is much, much less than what we don't know. Just like Fred said, you see the visible matter is only accounts for 45%. 4%. Yeah, 4. Someone say 5%. Anyway,
4 to 5%.
Yeah, 4 to 5%. And invisible matter, like a dark matter, dark energy, accounts for 96 or 95%. So we are long way to learn from Buddha's intelligence. We can learn Buddha's compassion. Then we know how to use technology to do, to contribute the better world. This is the end of the SDG goal is to make a better world. So this is my 2 cents about this AI's applications. Yeah.
Well, I remind our founder, Dharma Master Zheng Yan, once say, someone raised question, hey, Master, when the evil, compete with the good, which part will be win? Which part will win? It's the one who can accumulate more people. 人多的会赢，善恶拔河。When the evil compete with the good, who will win? The one who can accommodate more people. So we need more people to join the goodness. That's what we feel. I think the Buddhism, of course, advocate peace, harmony, especially compassion from my perspective, altruism. So Chairman Tsao, again, Cliff say this is a distrustful word. What is your optimistic again?
Always optimism is shifting consciousness, and then this is the era of shifting consciousness because we have too many trouble and pain, right? Depression and stress. Now back to, let's explore trust. What is trust? Some people say, oh, there needs a common, a safe space and all these things. And use a lot of psychological intervention that you first have to create a safe space before you can shift people to find out reality is not what they think. However, I have contemplated trust is a human need of control. And so the more you know a person, the more you have trust. Even a bad person. A person you don't know, you'll be more distrusted. Even your enemy, you can trust him more than somebody you don't know. Because the enemy is predictable. But somebody you don't know is not predictable. So there's a lot more distrust with people you don't know and commonality in the global environment. So knowing each other, number one, increase trust. Even your enemy. Let's party. I mean, party is really good for knowing each other and so forth. Then we go deeper. What is the cause of the need to trust? Why do we need to trust to act? Well, because we have doubt. We have fear. So where does this doubt come from? Does doubt come from lack of confidence? Okay, this guy is bad. What if he stabbed me? Are you afraid that you can't protect yourself? Are you afraid to die or the pain? You have fear. You have lack of confidence. And that goes back to the Buddha thing. 如来之心. We're born with confidence. And if we can unite the oneness, which is in the Chinese called big universe and small universe unity, system coherency is well-being, right? Or on the Christian tradition, we're made in the image of God. We do God's work. So we look at AI. We're made in the image of God. AI is made in the image of us. So think about that consciousness, and you can rethink our relationship with AI and the trust of human and AI interaction. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Maybe make some conclusion for this colloquium. Response to Cliff's question. We have to avoid some kind of fundamentalism and absolutism. We know we have in the Silicon Valley been criticized as a technology fundamentalist. They believe that technology will solve all human problems. We have a religious fundamentalist, right, to believe they are only chosen one, or the other who do not believe my system could be alien, could be annihilated. We have a national, fundamentalist, which means put your nation first. And by this kind of fundamentalist, the conflict cannot be avoided. It's inevitable. So we have to avoid this kind of fundamentalism and also the absolutism. So that's why constantly advocate the common good. We have to learn from each other, from know it all to learn it all, to respect different culture, different belief, and different cultural system, and to respect different system. So nowadays we advocate the common good is very important instead of the fundamentalism and absolutism. So I think that's one thing that we can pursue, together. So I appreciate the three discussants to join us for this panel. And I will hand over my time to the MC and continue our next panel. Thank you all. Thank you.